Hi there, I hope all is well with you and you're having a good day so far. So off your sort of request, I thought I'd come in and do an audit of your landing page, which if you're happy for me to do so, I will publish it out to the group. So let's jump straight into it. So if we look at this hero section, a couple of things that I would personally do slightly differently. So first point of call for me, I don't really like having a header bar on my landing pages. If we're going to send ad traffic to a page like this or this page, I would just recommend you create it as a standalone page. And what the logistics behind it is, I don't really want somebody who has seen my ad to navigate through the rest of my landing page or the rest of my website, because if somebody comes onto here and they go on to sort of your blog, for example, it just really takes it away from like the conversion. So I would highly recommend you sort of remove this header bar across the top. Now, moving on to the hero section. So I personally think here that we should have a look at improving trust, credibility, and authority. So we say that we're the #1 social media marketing or social media legal consulting agency, but every business owner is going to say that their agency or their product or service is the best on the market. Let's back it up with a real claim. So something that I would personally be looking to do here is add in like the number of people that you've helped, or a specific testimonial, a Trustpilot screenshot, just to sort of build that authority. Now, moving on, this learn more button doesn't actually do anything. So I would also then just have a look at removing this completely. I don't necessarily see the need for two different types of CTAs. I would just have the contact here, and I would also have a look at trying to like improve the wording of this. So yes, I want a free consultation or something on the lines to actually incentivize them to book a call. And the reason behind that is, and I suppose actually before I go into the logistics, what I would personally do is have your CTA in the button. So yes, I want a call. And then underneath there, I would just have a little bit of text underneath that just explains what they're going to get on the call. So even if they choose not to work with you, are you going to give them, say, 5 free strategies, or are you going to give them a roadmap, or whatever value they're going to get out of the call? And the reason why I like to sell the call is 98% of people just prefer to buy direct online. And obviously that's something that we can't do in this space. We need to get them on the call, but we need to give a benefit of them investing their time to jump on a call with us. So I like the fact that we're sort of calling out the audience in like the sub headline. Don't mind that at all. So moving down to sort of these points here. So I like the aspect of it, but I personally think there's more that we can do here. So we speak about clients all over the EU. Well, I think we can build on that. Why don't we say the number of clients that you have over, or like all over the EU? So maybe you could even say trusted by 125 clients over all of the EU for an example. And I think some other ones that we can personally have a look at is some like risk reverse elements as well. So do you offer some form of guarantee just to sort of reduce that perceived risk? Now, moving down the page, obviously you've got a little bit of like a styling issue. I obviously haven't looked at the website on my actual phone, but if I come over to here, the sizing all looks a little bit skew and a little bit off. I'm not sure whether that's just sort of Google's native feature here, but that might be something to have a look at. Now, moving down to sort of the offer aspect, one thing that I would personally be looking to do here is move the sale ends slightly higher up the page. So whenever I use like countdown timers, I will have them at the very top of my website in very bright colors. Now, I don't mind the price being there because we can essentially articulate USPs and the value before they get to the price, which increases the time spent on site and the likelihood of a conversion. But moving this up is just going to increase that urgency and scarcity right at the start. Now, on to sort of the countdown aspect. I think it's a really good philosophy to have a countdown here, but to me, this doesn't really create an element of urgency. Like, you've got 34 days to sign up to this. I don't necessarily think there's like a pro of doing this. Whenever I have these sort of sale countdown timers, I will have it for sort of 2 or 3 days as the maximum. So that's essentially something that I would also have a look at. Now, moving on to sort of the services aspect, and my apologies if I sort of got the sort of the messaging mixed up. But I think one thing that you really want to have a look at doing if you're running ads to this specific page is to actually have ads and angles around the different services. And the reason behind it is in the ad copy and on the creatives, we can articulate the benefits of each of these services, right? Because one thing that we got to sort of bear in mind is the benefits of legal consultations and online courses are going to be completely different, and we're targeting two completely different audiences. And that allows us to go into more in-depth information about each one. And the same sort of messaging goes across for like your landing page side as well. Like for me, I would have each of these as their own landing page and then run ads directly to that specific page. Now, love the testimonials. I love the fact that we use screenshots. It helps with sort of the authority even more. But one thing I would personally be looking to do here is introduce them slightly higher up the page. I like the About Us section, works absolutely fine. And then get in touch here. I don't mind this, but I suppose one thing that I'm sort of wondering, let's have a look So one thing that I would personally be looking to do slightly differently here is we've got our contact us form, right, which is awesome. What I would do is once somebody submits this contact information, I would remove the message fields for starters. Get their name, email address. When they press send, you redirect them to a separate page, which gives the audience the option to book themselves in for a call. So you can use something like Calendly or essentially whatever you use as your scheduling tool. And what you're going to see there is you're not going to have a massive amount of people go on and book into your like calendar, but I tend to see anywhere from sort of 5 to 15% of people will, and that obviously means 5 to 15% less people that you have to personally chase up. So I hope all that makes sense. Any questions, any concerns, please let me know.